Tonight, all eyes on the state of Alabama, specifically in Tuscaloosa, as GOP candidates vying for the White House are in town for the presidential debate on the campus at UA.
We have live team coverage for you tonight. We want to first get to WVTM 13's Ian Wrights and Lisa Crane live at the Moody Music Building, where the debate is just a couple of hours away, guys.
Yeah, you know, a lot of excitement here in Tuscaloosa, really around the state and around the nation. And I can tell you, I got here just before noon today, and just the excitement in this room, the spin room, has grown off the roof. I mean, we've seen it with few people in here when I got here this morning. It's filling up now, and you can kind of feel the excitement.
You definitely do, especially the closer we get to debate time, which is 7 o'clock our time. And we expect more and more folks filing in here over the next couple of hours. This is significant. This is historic. It's the first time that Alabama has hosted a presidential debate, and Alabama front and center tonight in primetime as those four candidates take the stage here in the Moody Music Building. We are talking about Chris Christie, Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, and Vivek Ramaswamy. Former President Donald Trump, who is the frontrunner, is not expected to attend. And we have got you covered from all angles of this historic night for our state. We are going to begin in Tuscaloosa. John Papke is standing by here with us. He is inside the spin room. He's checking things out. John, we'll begin with you this afternoon.
Yes, Ian, I'm actually just across the way from you inside the spin room, as you may have mentioned. This is the area where all the media are set up shop to cover tonight's historic debate between those four presidential hopefuls, because no one is allowed except the one network that's covering this debate in the debate concert hall, which is not far from us. We're actually located in a band rehearsal room in the Moody Music Building on the southwest corner of that building, and the concert hall is probably about 100 yards or so to the east of us. Now, there's a number of high-profile folks that will be attending tonight's debate between the four presidential candidates. I'm told the Secretary of State Wes Allen will be here, Attorney General Steve Marshall, and a handful of prominent Republican state lawmakers as well. Now, earlier this week, we did learn that Governor Ivey does not plan to attend, and I actually communicated with Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth myself, and he told me that he will not be here tonight. Instead, he will be in Washington, D.C. Now, as the debate wraps up later on tonight, say maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock, we hope to have all four of the candidates file into the spin room and kind of give us their take, their spin, as you would say, on how they performed in the debate, and we'll get a chance to hopefully talk to each of them coming up later tonight. Back to you guys.
All right, John, thank you very much. Now, these tickets, they weren't available to the public. They were by invitation only. So there are a lot of people who would love to be here tonight who cannot be. So you can imagine there's a lot of watch parties going on all over the state and all over the country. Even Democrats are going to be watching very closely. We have Gladys Bautista standing by now with the University Democrats, and they're having their own watch party.
Yeah, Gladys, what are they expecting to be taking place tonight?
Well, Lisa, Ian, I'm told that this debate party is really for them to have a safe space and discuss whatever they hear the candidates talking about tonight, and have that safe space for the Democrats on campus. And I'm told that they are the majority on this campus. Where they're going to be having this debate party is about a mile away from the Moody Music Center, and everybody is welcome. Today, I spoke to the communications director for UA's College Democrats, and he says, you know, the goal again is just to provide that safe space for those in attendance to speak up about what they hear as the candidates are talking. And although this debate is happening on their college campus, I'm told those who are going are hopeful the watch party will send a message.
Because we're the majority on campus, and we want to show people that, you know, there are a majority of people here who do not like Donald Trump, who do not like what the Republicans have been doing in Montgomery and in DC and anywhere across the nation.
And I'm told about 60 students are expected to show up to that debate watch party. Of course, we will be there throughout that entire party, and we will have a live report at 10 o'clock about what happened in there. But for now, we're live on the University of Alabama's campus. Gladys Bautista, WVTM 13.
All right, so one of the things that we've talked about over the past couple of days is the significance of bringing an event like this to Tuscaloosa, to Alabama. I mean, Tuscaloosa is used to big events. You got national champions that play here, that play football, you know, every weekend in the fall, or most weekends in the fall. But still, to have a political event like this is significant for this city. Yeah,
our WVTM 13's Magdala Lusan is live in downtown Tuscaloosa to tell us why this is so important. Magdala?
Well, Ian, Lisa, you're right about all of that. This debate being the coming first to Alabama for the first time, and furthermore, it's happening in the city of Tuscaloosa, where the mayor says this is a politically diverse melting pot. Now, Alabama typically votes Republican and would not be considered a swing state in the general election. Mayor Walt Maddox says having the GOP presidential debate here is an exciting time. He adds the residents of Tuscaloosa are evenly divided on politics.
Tuscaloosa is a city that frankly is almost evenly split when it comes from Republicans and Democrats. It is really a cross-section of America, whether it's race, whether it's your denomination, whether it is education levels, etc. This is a great place to test your message.
Now, the city has been involved in the process for several months when it came to bringing this debate down here before the announcement was made. And Maddox also says and credits the debate to the Alabama Republican Party as well as the University of Alabama, who brought the debate here to Tuscaloosa. We are live in downtown Tuscaloosa. We'll send it back to you, Ian and Lisa.
All right, Magdala, thank you so much. You heard Mayor Maddox talk about testing your message here in the city of Tuscaloosa, and that's one of those things that we've heard the candidates really focus on over the past several weeks. They've been testing that message out with voters, Iowa voters, New Hampshire voters, some of those early states to make those decisions. And so it's going to be interesting as we round that corner and head toward Iowa with 6 weeks to go to see what message they bring tonight and how much they go after former President Trump.
How they've refined that message so far. It'll be very interesting to hear. All right, that's going to do it for us here in Tuscaloosa. We're going to send it back to you in the studio.
Lisa, Ian, thanks. Former President Donald Trump, as mentioned, is not expected to be on stage tonight.
Yeah, we heard from former Alabama Senator Doug Jones, a Democrat, on what he thinks tonight's event means in the race for the White House.
Well, this is really not a debate tonight, folks. You can't debate when the front runner's not here. It's truly just kind of a town hall get-together among folks who either vying for the number 2 spot or just trying to be relevant for 2028. Because there's no way that I don't think anybody on that stage is going to win the Republican nomination.
Well, WVTM 13 app is your source for all you need to know about tonight's debate. More on the candidates, top issues, potential road impacts in Tuscaloosa as well, so much more. We are going to be live at UA throughout the night and on the TV side of things too, so make sure you stay tuned right here.